I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I didn't think that this day would ever come. Today, Valve released what is going to be known as probably one of the worst updates for skin owners in CS2's history, because with this update, they made it possible for you to trade your red rarity skins up to gold skins, such as knives and gloves. Now, this is going to have a lot of impact on the skin economy, and it already has. At the time of recording this video, the skins market has lost over $1 billion of its entire worth. So this is a really big deal, and I want to talk about all of the things that have happened in the last couple of hours since the update came out and try to inform you guys as best I can as to what we know and what we should do next. But of course, we'll get to that after a word from SkinsMonkey, which you could still use because you're still going to want to trade skins eventually. If you're not familiar with SkinsMonkey, this is a trade site that allows you to take some of the old and crusty skins out of your inventory, and you can actually trade them in for something a little bit new, a little bit shinier than what you have right now. And it's really easy to do this, actually. All you need to do is log in through Steam, pick the skins that you don't want to use anymore, grab the ones that you do, and then click trade. All trades will pretty much happen immediately, and any balance that you don't use in your trade actually stays on the site for you to use for any future trades that you decide to do. And right now, if you use the link in the description, you can actually get a 35% deposit bonus, and that's good for up to $100. So let's say you deposit $100, you would actually get $135 on the site if you use my link. So make sure you check out SkinsMonkey, and let's hop right back into the video. So to recap the entire update, we got retakes added back into the game, so you can queue up and play retakes. We got some updates to the community maps, as well as some stability improvements, as well as supposed optimizations. Along with that, we also got the change to the Tradeup system that allows you to take 5 red rarity skins, only 5, and trade them up for a gold rarity skin. Now, the problem is that there was a lot of skins that were red rarity that were not really worth that much. $3, $4, there was a lot of those. So when the update first came out, for $15 to $20, you could get a knife that was worth $20,000. There's already a lot of clips of people trading up to ridiculous knives like butterfly emeralds. And at first, when the update came out, the items weren't tradable. At least that's what it said. And there was never a patch note that was confirming whether or not they were or not. So for the first hour, we had originally thought that you would get these knives and gloves and they would just be stuck to your account. Because again, Valve didn't clarify. They completely changed how you get the rarest items in the game and didn't even clarify that those items were tradable. So for the first hour, it was utter chaos. People were buying crazy things. They were getting the craziest. We watched it all live happen on my stream. And now, not only are the prices of all knives and gloves falling pretty significantly, like upwards of 50 to 60% on some, but the prices of reds have skyrocketed because now people know that they can take the skins that they had that were just laying around. Maybe you have one of the $3 P250s, and you could trade it to get something insane now. So now all reds have gone up so much to the point where if you have a red skin that you're not using, I would highly recommend looking at selling it because it's going to be worth way more than it's ever been worth before. But of course, this comes at the expense of the rest of the market. So you might be able to make a little bit of money off of that, but the knives and the gloves have been heavily impacted. And at the time of recording this video, the impact is already upwards of $1 billion lost on the market. And that is a lot of money, but people are unsure if it will stay that low. There's some speculation that this could still be a panic phase of this update, because after crunching some of the numbers, people that are smarter than I am have determined that even if every skin was traded up that's able to be traded up, and yes, that does mean every one, it would only give us about 2x the total golds that currently exist, which means that theoretically, if it goes the way that the math says, it should mean that 50% of the value is lost on almost every skin. And the market's already lost $1 billion total, but it could lose another billion, or maybe even 2 billion or more. Like, these are numbers that I'm sure that Valve would insist aren't real, because they have, again, been very adamant that skins are not worth anything. They're just pixels, and the community sets the prices. But when it goes to third-party markets like CS Float or Buff, pretty much they don't have anything to say. And obviously, we know that they've been trying to get away from gambling with the Genesis terminal. They're trying to make it so there's alternatives to opening cases now. The Armory exists, and the X-ray thing exists in France still. And now we have the, again, introduction of the Genesis terminal. And now we have ways to get the rarest skins. And this is just speculation. I think the idea is they want to bring down the most expensive items so that they're able to be sold on Steam, because the cap is about $2,000 on Steam. So they want the rarest items to be sold on Steam and bought on Steam. That way they're able to make money, because if anything happens on, say, CS Float or Buff, that is completely out of their hands. They're not making any money on the most expensive items in the game. So with this, they get rid of one of the aspects of gambling that people were doing. They were opening cases trying to get golds. They get rid of that idea because people aren't going to want to do that as much anymore, because there's an alternative. And now you will have to sell your items on Steam because they're probably not going to be worth enough to sell on a third-party market. So I'm not trying to be one of those fear-mongering, oh, this is the end of skins update where, oh, everybody panic sell and I'm just going to be buying in the corner. Like, I really don't know how we're going to come back from this. And I don't think they want us to. I think this is actually how it's supposed to be. They want to bring down the value of skins. Now, even though I do think the way they went about this is terrible, I think that this was very inconsiderate for the amount of money that they know is in the market and the average consumer that they know this is going to affect. I think that this is not a good thing, the way they handled it. I don't think that them doing it objectively is bad, because for newer players or any amount of casual players, telling them that they'd have to spend upwards of, $3,000 to $10,000 to just get a knife, and that doesn't even include skins that you can play with, that's a little bit ridiculous. And I have to admit, even though I partook and I had an inventory that was valued around 15,000 to 20,000 USD, and I've lost quite a bit of that now, I have to say it is still a good update on that front, because it's ridiculous that those prices even existed. But again, this is a terrible way to go about this. It's such a slap in the face to the CS community. I mean, it's such a slap in the face to everybody. I mean, they are well aware that the majority of people are content creators, pro players, even pro events are sponsored by skin sites, skin gambling sites. Not that we advocate for that necessarily, but it's still a well-known fact that skins kind of keep the interest and keep the money flowing in the entire scene. And so this update, I don't know what happens next, but obviously the skin market will not go anywhere. You will still be able to buy skins. You'll still be able to sell skins. I'm sure still for probably a few $1,000s, the rarest skins will go for, but it doesn't change the fact that the entire community is going to lose quite a bit of value. Now, again, this could be a good update if you don't have any money in skins, and I understand that you're probably just like, finally I can get a good inventory, and I agree with you. I do agree with you, but I just can't agree with the way that they went about this. Now, whether you like the skin creators or people who are in CS mostly for the skins, you have to admit that that is a pretty big portion of the community, and sometimes that part of the community really does carry the attention brought to the game. For example, we have OniPixel, who started off as a skin streamer who became one of our more popular co-streamers who brings the game to a lot of people, but that came from skins in the beginning. Or whether that be somebody like Nadeshot or Trainwreck, who brings a lot of attention to the game whenever they do those really big unboxings. And again, even if you don't like that part and you're just here for the game and, whatever, I just want to play, I want the game to be good, that's still a pretty big part of the game, and I know that that will be changed after today. So I'm not really sure where that leaves us. I don't know if you should buy. I don't know if you should sell. I can't in good faith give you advice because we've never done this before. We don't know what's coming next. And again, I'm only talking about this because it is a really big deal. This is not a video that you normally get on my channel, but I have to at least give this information to you guys because a lot of people are unsure, and a lot of people are going to try to lead you astray. A lot of people are going to make you think that the game is over. A lot of people are going to try to get you to sell things that maybe you shouldn't. So I'm trying to just be the voice of reason for you. But again, that's just what we know right now. It's only been a few hours since the update came out. Maybe in a week things will get better. But that's everything for now. I'll leave you guys. If you guys have any questions, I'll try my best to answer for the first few hours in the comments below. I appreciate you guys very much. We'll be back to regular content tomorrow. We already got a banger video, I promise. And hopefully this is the only time that we have to talk about this. I'm sure that it will all work out in the end. I genuinely am. I'm almost positive. There's always been a light at the end of the tunnel after every bad skin update. But again, we can focus on the positives. At least we got retakes back, am I right? On that note, I appreciate you guys for watching this far. Make sure you guys stay subscribed so you guys can stay updated on all the new things I'm working on. And that'll be it for me. Appreciate you guys very much. Much love as always. And I'll see you guys very soon.